Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Commercial Truck Training. It has been a while, hasn't it?
It has. I think everybody's been affected, I hate to say economic conditions, but more medical conditions.
It's been crazy. We know you guys have obviously dealt with the various shortages, including supply chain issues.
Yes.
And now we got Delta coming into play too, so it's been a wild ride these last 90 days or so, hasn't it?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, hopefully that's coming to an end now. And but we kind of want to talk between Will and I today of kind of what we're recommending during this very unique time where it's hard to get inventory. It's hard to get into buildings without a mask or, in some cases, total quarantine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Absolutely. Before we get into that, just so you guys know, for those of you who follow us on LinkedIn, which between the two of us is a couple thousand people, no, I haven't left this guy. You'll notice the shirt's the same. We've simply just added a position. I've been working with Nissan dealerships on the service side of things. And for those of you that saw that LinkedIn update, it's just an addition. Everything's good here. So that being said, obviously the last 90 days have been very, very quiet, and the forecast is a little bit bleak, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, from a standpoint of vehicles being sold, companies still need vehicles, and what I am hearing from a lot of our dealerships, Will, is that they've had some record months.
Yes, on the gross end of things, yes.
Yeah, and that, yeah, it has more to do with gross, because the grosses have grown dramatically. In what would have been a $2,000 gross, it's not uncommon to see $5,000-$6,000 right now.
Right.
So it's changed dramatically. So even though we're selling less vehicles, we're still making the record profits.
Yeah.
So, and the other side of the coin is when will production be ramped up? And I don't think anybody can answer that right now. We're still going into dealerships. I had a great conversation today with one of the sales guys at Denoyer Chevrolet in Albany, New York, one of our good clients, a great group of guys from Joel Denoyer, who totally supports commercial, to Tim Rigney, the GM, who's also just a big commercial guy. So shout out to those guys. I really admire everything they're doing and moving forward. But yeah, we've seen dramatic change. It's gotten quiet, but we've got some great recommendations for you today. Number one, stay in touch.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Don't just hide. I mean, stay in touch. Pick up the phone. Face the music. The great thing is, it's not as if your dealership is the only one that's got shortages. It's not like your manufacturer is the only one who has shortages and can't get vehicles.
Everybody's on a relatively level playing field.
Yeah, it is. And I'm going to shock you with what I'm about to say.
Uh-oh.
Now is the time to pick up new clients. And I say that because so many of the dealers are not communicating with their own customers. You might be, and we've found this in several cases where where our dealerships have called prospects, let them know what's going on, or they've been more active in many of the association meetings, which were being held by Zoom. But even we were recommending that if you're on a Zoom call and there are others on that call that you have not contacted, pick up the phone, because you've got your association list, you've got the numbers, you've got the decision makers. And after that call, say, hey, I was on the call with you. I understand, you guys are having a shortage as well. I just wanted to update you on what we're seeing. Inform your prospects as well as your customers. This is a great time to make an impression on people who have not bought trucks from you.
Yep.
So don't sit and hide.
Three quick things that I want to suggest that I have seen dealerships do a successful job in these last 90 days or so. Number one is still posting every vehicle that comes in on social media, whether it's been sold or not, because if nothing else, you prove that you have some form of access to vehicles, which is helpful. But also staying in touch with the customers that are involved there as well. Two, I saw just today, and it reminded me of how effective associations are, like you'd mentioned. Chris Kubiak in Iowa did a great job with a post of that today that we saw, reaching out to people to help them network for their business. That's as good as it gets.
Oh, absolutely.
And then the other thing, too, is making sure, as you said, keep everyone informed. It's an easy thing to do, and it doesn't take very long before that call becomes personal, because there's a reason to truly check in on people and make sure they're okay.
Absolutely.
So, which brings me to a kind of a bonus point. We talk about this in some of the programs that we've done. Now is not the time to go political or to go religious with any conversations or any posts that you have. Stay away from that. You risk dividing your base so much. It's just not worth it.
Absolutely. You got to figure whether you're political, you're going to alienate 50%.
Well, I tend to tell people at least 51, because when you have an opinion, whether it's one side or the other, that vocal opposite side is going to let you know. So it's easier to just stay away from that. I think now more than ever, because everybody's got to be reaching a point of frustration with all these different little arms coming from, obviously stemming initially from COVID.
Yeah.
That, you know, animosity is not the right word. Frustration is probably the right word. That everybody's kind of on edge. So, you know, take that personal, friendly, "Are you okay?" approach. How can I help? Approach to your conversations. One other thing that we want to keep you informed on is our boot camps.
Yes.
Due to just a variety of things, we ended up having to cancel the one that we had planned in July at Commercial Van Interiors in New York, and then also at Mastercraft in Denver, that would have taken place next week, just a few days from at least when we're filming this.
Yeah.
It ended up working out that Delta kind of came in the way anyway, and probably would have wiped them out, I think.
Yeah.
But we are going to try to do one more for the rest of the year. It's totally tentative, but we did want to mention this now because our window really isn't that far away.
No.
It's about 2 months out. It's October 18th to 20th. We don't have a location within Jacksonville yet, but we do know it will take place in Jacksonville. Might be our typical location that we've done at Homewood at St. John's Town Center, or maybe another partner. We're waiting to hear on that. We hope it happens. We certainly would love to have people. We know there are a lot of things at play, but we at least wanted to let you know we are putting the effort in to try to make that happen, and certainly hope that it does. And you had mentioned too that when we do get to that, whenever the next one is, that you wanted to make some adjustments that you wanted to share with everybody.
Yeah, we're going to be customizing it to fit today's climate, literally, both, you know, with the COVID-19, any shortages, inventory shortages. There's still so many things you could be doing, and this particular boot camp is going to be a great detailed study with handouts on how you can maximize your efforts and even pick up brand new clients during this very difficult time.
We've had a lot of time to think, obviously.
Yeah.
Which helps. So, any closing remarks?
Yeah, going back to that boot camp, the things that we're going to be teaching are things we've already implemented and they're working. So if you're thinking, how can I get back on board? How can I grow my business? How can I get back in touch? Then this boot camp is for you. It's all about that, and we've got a lot of great ideas that I think you'll appreciate. So be there or be square.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we'll do in this case is, if you're interested and you see this video, whether it's YouTube, Truck Stop, anything else, and you're interested in coming, send us some kind of a message. Just say, hey, let me know if this happens. I'd like to be there. I'd like to send somebody, so we can kind of gauge whether or not it's possible from the travel perspective and things of that nature, and see if we can make this work, because we would like to, but obviously there are some things that are outside of our control that might dictate that.
Yeah, and you know, we're just a phone call away, so you can email us. We'll respond quickly, either Will or myself, and have a great conversation. And during that conversation, we'll try to give you some coaching tips as well on things you can do for your business right now.
Absolutely. So thank you everybody for watching, and we will hopefully be back sooner rather than later from Commercial Truck Training.
God bless.